Good day, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So, if you didn't know, Jake Paul is fighting again soon. Him and Amanda Serrano are co-main event in his now hometown of Puerto Rico. The young child actor Wallen Waldron is fighting on the card as well. So, yeah, it should be an exciting event, and credit to Jake. The videos he's made leading up to the fight have been really exciting, great cinematography, really exciting stuff, kind of, brings the proper excitement to his videos. A lot of effort, a lot of work goes into it. And yeah, it's good to see him not neglecting YouTube as a boxer. Obviously, he doesn't want to be an influencer boxer. He wants to go down the professional route, but, it's still good to see that he's putting a lot of effort into YouTube. So I thought I'd just share my thoughts on Jake Paul, because obviously, being from England, a lot of KSI fans, Jake Paul gets a lot of hate, especially from KSI, but truthfully, I like what Jake Paul is doing. I think he probably deserved to be humbled by Tommy Fury, like it probably did him good. Before that, I think, you've got to be confident, but I think he was bordering on arrogance. I remember when Tommy Fury was boxing and Jake Paul was commentating over it, and he was just laying into him on the commentary, and it's like, it's just disrespectful. Like, there's trash talk and there's disrespect, and for me, that was just bordering, too much on disrespect, in my opinion. And a lot of people are saying, oh, the Tommy Fury fight was close, split decision, but I think Tommy Fury did humble him a bit. Like, he properly outboxed him, man. I remember, I actually watched it live and I thought, yeah, Tommy Fury's got this. The knockdown, it was more of a slip, let's be real. He got up in like less than a second. But, I do like the way Jake is moving. He's staying active, taking a lot of fights. He appears to be training hard. And, I'm sure that last knockout has done him a lot of good. I actually think his fight with Nate Diaz probably gave him a lot of experience as well. Because, Nate Diaz is, such a warrior. Like, he took some hard shots in that first round. I remember when Jake Paul came out after the fight, he told Logan, bro, I don't know how he didn't go down in that first round. The guy is just hard as fuck. So he did drop him as well. But, I'm sure that 10 rounds, it's good experience in the bank. Because I think that's the crazy thing about Jake. Obviously, most professional boxers, their record will be like, 15-1. But, it's not like they've had, 16 fights. They've had, loads of, most of them will have had loads of amateur fights, loads of rounds of sparring. But, for Jake, like, 9-1? That's all the fights he's had. Obviously, he's done lots of sparring, but, he's had 10 fights. So, yeah, I do like what he's doing. His new opponent, Ryan Borland, is 17-2, and he last won by knockout in 2022. Obviously, it's hard to know how good these guys are, because you can have a 17-2 record, but you don't know if these guys who's been going in with bums, just going in for a little paycheck, have come to survive, or just come literally for the money. So it is hard to know how good he is, but as I said, it's a step in the right direction to being a professional fighter. Rounds in the bank, knockouts, experience with the crowd. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And the thing with Jake is, it feels like he can never win, because when he was fighting, the big names, the influencers was like, oh, when are you gonna fight a real boxer? And then now he's fighting real boxers, like, oh, you're fighting nobodies. So I do feel for Jake a little bit. It does feel like he can't win. I guess the only thing I am disappointed with is the fact that the KSI Jake Paul fight isn't happening. The fight had so much hype. I'm sure a lot of influencer fans want to see it. It's the reason a lot of this beef has started in the influencer world. It's been, driving the influencer game for the last few years. So it'll be pretty disappointing if it doesn't happen. But yeah, I can't see it happening. I don't know how serious KSI is about fighting again. Like, I'm sure he'll want to fight again to right the wrongs of Tommy Fury. Like, if he's a fighter, if he's got it in him, he probably won't want to end on a loss. You know, there were talks of him fighting Wayne Rooney, which seems a little bit insane. You never know. But I think the weight difference will be too much, you know. Jake's looking pretty heavy now, and you know, KSI was pretty light. He came in a lot lighter than Tommy Fury. And I think if he wanted to beat Tommy Fury, he probably would have had to, you know, take Tommy Fury down. Like, although it was great, you know, no rehydration clause, probably healthier. It's like, if you wanted to beat him, that's probably what you would have had to done, what you would have had to do. I think it is that questions of, you know, arrogance comes into it again. Is it arrogant to think you can beat, you know, a not weight drained Tommy Fury? Like, is it silly to think that, or is it simply self confidence? You know, I did get a bit annoyed by KSI after the fight because you know he told everyone he was going to knock out Tommy Fury, and ultimately he didn't. You know, he can feel he won the fight, but you know, I felt like he should have had. You know, I felt like if he was a bit more humble, if he had come out saying, "Look, it was a split decision. I believe I won, but you know, fair play to Tommy, and I didn't knock him out the way I said I would." I think if he'd come out saying that, it would have been easier to have, you know, had more respect for him. But you know, I do still have respect for KSI. You know, he was a fat gamer who's ripped as fuck now. So, you know, I do have a lot of respect for him. And obviously, going from fighting Swarms and Pineda to fighting Tommy Fury, huge step up, huge balls. And, you know, we know how hard the guy trains, has great cardio. So, you know, I'm not here to hate on KSI. But yeah, I do like what Jay's doing. I think he's entertaining. I think he's going down the right route. I like the way he supported Amanda Serrano. I think that's a really wholesome friendship. You know, Amanda Serrano, she had the first 12 rounder for women's boxing, I believe. Obviously, that's a little bit of there's been a little bit of debate around that because women's brains have less tissue in it than men's. So the punches take more impact. So I think that's why the governing bodies aren't as eager to have 12 rounders and mandatories. But, you know, like, it seems a bit naive to sit there and say, like, oh, you know, 12 rounds for men is really safe as well. Like, you know, I think if you're willing to get in the ring and take that risk, it's down to the fighters, you know, who can tell them what to do. Like, it's their lives, they can do what they want. And his house in Puerto Rico looks sick. You know, I think that's the dream, and it really, like, I feel like that's every man's dream. Like, wake up, hot girlfriend, massive mansion, you know, lovely scenery to go and do your runs in, boxing gym nearby, dog, big cars. So yeah, that guy is living the dream. And as much as you can hate on him, like, oh, he's not a proper boxer. Maybe he isn't. Maybe he would get humbled by some pro boxers. But at the end of the day, like, he's living the life a lot of his one. Like, no 9 to 5, training, you know, going into fights where he's going to win. Like, he's probably got really high testosterone. He probably feels great. So, you know, it's hard to hate on the man when he's got, you know, everything a lot of men could want. You could say he's a fraud, or you could say he's found a clever way to get what he wants in life. He's, you know, pursuing his passion without being the best at it. Is it a fraud, or is he clever? You know, I think it's pretty clever. Like, he's found a way to live the life he wants and make a lot of money while doing it. So yeah, I think it's clever. I think for Jake Paul, the statement he really wants to make, it would be obviously the Tommy Fury rematch. It's difficult to know with Tommy Fury how much he loves, but how much he really wants to fight. Obviously, you know, he did well against Jake. He didn't do, obviously didn't do very well against KSI, but it was an ugly fight. You know, it's hard to box someone who's just coming to clinch. So I'm going to give him some leeway for that. And obviously he had the broken hand and he had some hand surgery for that. So yeah, it's hard to know how much Tommy Fury really wants it. He's never the first to call out anyone. You know, he doesn't have that kind of ferocious self-belief that Jake has. Or maybe he does have it and he just doesn't show it. Like, don't know if fighting comes as naturally to him. Like, if he wasn't born into that Fury family, would he be a fighter? It's hard to know, but then again, maybe he's just a bit more shy, a bit more held back. I think he felt a lot of pressure. Like I really felt for him after that, after the Jake Paul fight. Like, you know, you could see how much pressure was on his back. You know, that the weight of that Fury name to, you know, to lose to a YouTuber, you know, would have been, you know, the bond in his family, you know, could have been broken forever. So, you know, I remember watching it. I was just so happy Tommy won, and I think Tommy's a great kind of role model for men. Like, you know, not sleeping around, has a beautiful wife, you know, beautiful daughter. Is he married? Married young, you know. I think these are all married young, found his purpose, making a lot of money, friendly, good morals. You know, I think he's a great role model for young men. Like, I don't think he's, you know, that intelligent, but you know, he's got balls. He'll get in the ring. So yeah, I always think Tommy Fury is a great role model for young men. You know, in a time where there aren't a lot of male role models. But yeah, that's today's video. Just a bit of discussion about Jake Paul, why I'm a fan of him, and yeah, I hope he'll win his next fight. Obviously, the only real big event in boxing coming up is Ngannou versus Joshua. I was watching True Geordie and Carl Froch discuss it, and yeah, they think, you know, Ngannou could be a banana skin. Like, the bloke's tough, you know, the bloke's tough as nails, hard chin. It's gonna come to fight. Joshua hasn't had anyone put it on him really since Ruiz won. So yeah, that could be a potential banana skin. I'll probably do a full video on that. Apart from that, the only news I think is Catterall Taylor 2 has been announced. That should be a good fight. I think I favour Catterall personally. I think Taylor's a little bit past it, but he can prove me wrong. Yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like and subscribe if you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.